Okay, this is called Working with Variables. It's in the book 40 to 41. Again, I went back in the book. I'm just going to go through the whole book because if you don't, it's too much to take in to learn all this. So we added the button. The text name of the button. Text name is add one to integer. And under the design, it's named button short add. This is to identify the code when we have a whole bunch of buttons or controls in here. So we will just run it first. Add one to integer again. This is about working with our variables. The value of integer number plus 1 equals 28. Okay, you notice this doesn't close. In the last video, I think I showed how to close that. Anyway, so close it here. So now look at the code. Again, we're talking about integers. So our variables. So I'm going to say it a couple ways. So remember this variable as an integer, or put this information called in int number as a data type called integer, or remember this data type value as an integer data type, which is whole numbers only. So I'll do it a couple ways. So there's no decimals here. So we're only going to get whole numbers. So then we go, the value of this is, we're giving it we're adding an operator equals 27. So that variable equals 27. That variable equals this variable. In other words, we're changing it. So 27 plus 1. Then message box dot show, parentheses, double quote. Anything in red is what we're typing in. End of quote. So we're typing that in. And so notice it says operator string. So what we're saying is, again, this is just what we write, but so it's saying what we write and 27 converted to a string. And then it says converts the numeric value of this instant to the equivalent string representation. You notice this little box. Start watching these little icons. Comma, quote, variable, parentheses. So everything inside these parentheses, which I call a bucket, are being passed up to here. So when we click, so we call it button 1. So when we click the button, these things this is gonna happen, and this stuff is this. So we'll run it. So it's what we wrote, value of integer number plus 1 equals 28. So it added these two together. So let me go over it a little bit further. Again, this is just a beginning video. So the message box is this dot show. We're showing the message box. Then we're showing what's in the message box, which is this string of information, which is in quotes, +1 equals, so it's adding 27 to 1 because this right here says 27 plus 1. Then we have a comma. Variables. Notice, I don't know if I said this before, but the comma after this, you put a comma, and then it'll put these words up, the string up here. Okay. So if I call this 27 point, 27.2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say. We'll run. You notice it doesn't show decimals. So an integer only shows whole numbers. The thing I want to show you is, as you're learning, if you highlight this and you highlight almost anything with push function F1, it says it's an operator, generates a string concatenation of two expressions. It's putting two expressions, meaning two, I don't know how to explain expression, but that's one expression. And this is the other expression. Now, we know it didn't run, so we're going to go back. We'll talk about different data types later. And that's it, I think. Oh, let's just do one more, highlight one more thing. Function F1. It's an operator. Assigns a value to a variable. So the variable, we're assigning a value of 27. And then we're basically changing it. Now we're saying the variable equals 27 plus 1.